Did you know there's actually 4 types of income earners? And which one that you're in could mean the difference between being stuck in the rat race forever or finally achieving financial freedom. And in this video, we're going to break down Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant and showing you how understanding these 4 quadrants can completely transform your financial future. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Jeff Anzalone, a periodontist wanting to get you to the point that work is optional. I've got a free passive income training, links below this video. Let's get going. Let's first explain what the cash flow quadrant is, okay? So Robert Kiyosaki in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is like the gold standard of anybody out there that's built wealth, especially from real estate, has read. He talks about this quadrant and actually divides income earners into 4 types. Let's talk about each one individually. Number 1 is E, it's an employee, okay? More than likely, either you're an employee now, which I used to be an employee, or you used to be an employee at a earlier part in your life, okay? What is an employee? Well, an employee simply means that you work for somebody else and you trade your time for dollars. This is what an employee is. Your paycheck actually stops the second you clock out. Next is going to be the self-employed person. I was employed working for another dentist. I went out, bought this building, started my own practice. I went from becoming an employee to self-employed. You work for yourself. But again, guess what? You still have to trade your time for money. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, if I don't go treat patients, if I would have stayed in this category, if I don't go treat patients, I don't get paid. So it gets you to start thinking about how you're earning income. This is on this side, this left side, this is what Kiyosaki calls actually the poor side. Isn't it kind of crazy how our whole financial system, our whole educational system teaches us everything about really being an employee. You know, go to school, make good grades, get a good quote job and work for somebody else. Then if you really branch out, start your own business. But the entire educational system is over here teaching us to go through our entire life being on what he calls the poor side versus moving on this side, which he actually calls the rich side. The first part being a B, a business owner. You own a system or you own a business that can run itself. So for example, you may own a restaurant. You may have some managers there and staff. They can keep it running while you're away. You're in this quadrant. 2 friends of mine in this local town, they bought the local health club. They have managers, they have people there, they have employees that if they want to go off. And we were playing pickleball the other day and I was talking to one of the owners. He said, well, he's getting ready to take his family to Branson, Missouri to go look at Christmas lights and this and that for a few days. Well, he's able to do that. And guess what? People are still working out. People are still playing pickleball. He's still getting paid. So that is what the example of a business owner is. And then the ultimate goal that I want for you is to get into this quadrant, investor quadrant. This is where you get to the point where your money is working for you. This is investing in dividend paying stocks, like me, investing in rental properties, real estate syndications, investing in businesses, things that are generating, you've heard it before, especially if you've watched a couple of my videos, and I'll say it again, passive income. Again, the majority of the people out there, they stay stuck between the employee or self-employed quadrants because they're comfortable. Most people do everything they can to not change. I have a note right here on my desk that I read every single day, and it says, we don't change without pain. Change, when you change something, it's either going to be physical pain, it's going to cause physical pain, or it's going to cause mental pain, or it's going to cause both. Thus, we want to avoid change at all costs. If you're comfortable, especially if you're comfortable, I can't tell you how many people I know that are employees, they complain all the time about their situation. And when I talk to them about starting their own business, guess what? They don't want to change because they're comfortable. Now, why do these 2 quadrants, we talked about this, why do these 2 quadrants keep you poor? Because remember, your income is limited by your time. I know I used to be a big Dave Ramsey guy when I first started off. He was always talking about, getting out of debt, cutting your expenses, doing this and that. Well, you can only cut your expenses so much. But when you get over on this quadrant, the sky's the limit with what your income can do. Okay, because it doesn't involve your time. Over here, that's not the case. Your income is limited by your time. You can only work so many hours in a day, so many hours in a week. So for instance, if you're a dentist and you're working 40 hours a week, and let's say you make 200 grand a year, and let's say you take a vacation, or if you get injured or something like this, your money, your income stops, okay? Even if you're an orthopedic surgeon, say you're making 500-600 grand a year, you're living the high life. You're trapped over here if you're having to trade your time for money. True financial freedom happens when you stop relying on your time and you're building systems or you're building assets that generate income for you, which is the whole point of these videos that I'm doing, these articles that I'm doing, this information, because for me, what it's done for me, it's just given me freedom, just giving me options. How I start my day and the different things that I do my day now are so much different than they were 10 years ago. Why? Just because I have extra streams of income coming in to just give me freedom. Not that I'm going out and buying all this expensive stuff. It's just I have options. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, Jeff, I'm an employee or I'm self-employed. How do I make the leap to become a business owner or an investor? If let's say you're an employee and you want to be a business owner, okay, start a side hustle that doesn't entirely depend on your time. You could create an online course. Okay, you have to do something once, but then once you create it, that's just extra revenue streams. Maybe there's a particular franchise in your area that you like. Maybe you like eating at Chipotle's, or you like a particular dessert restaurant or something. Invest in a franchise. Invest in something that you believe in. The key is building something that can run without you being there. If you're an employee and you want to be an investor, you can start, instead of sticking your money in a 401k like we're always taught by advisors, right? You can start doing what I've done over the last 10 years, using your income to invest in assets. Again, real estate syndications, dividend paying stocks, something that's going to give you money, getting your money out there to work for you. Real estate syndications, it's like a group investment. So you can pool your money with others and invest in things like RV parks, mobile home parks is what we invest in. This right here, think of it like planting a tree. You have to work, you have to put your effort in up front, you have to plant your seed, you have to make sure that it's fertilized, you have to water, you have to give it sun, you have to do all this, but over time, it starts to grow, right? It grows and it provides shade, or in this case, it's providing income without constant work. When you read the book, or if you've read the book before, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which you can see my copy's beaten up pretty good, has all kinds of marks in it and dog-eared and everything else. So one of his biggest lessons in here is you can't escape the rat race, which if you're over here, you're in the rat race. You can't escape the rat race by working harder. You have to work smarter. You have to invest in assets that are going to provide you with income. So let's say that you come over here and you invest $50,000 in a real estate syndication. This is typically the minimum investment for real estate syndication. 50 grand real estate syndication. Say you want to invest alongside of us in one of our RV parks. You're one of our Passive Investor Circles members. If you don't know about that, you can go to our website, debtfreedoctor.com. On the top right, it's an orange button that says Invest Now. Our typical preferred return that we pay is 8% while your money is there over the 5 to 7 year hold period. While your money is sitting there, you're going to be paid 8%. Typically, the taxes are deferred, which I've got plenty of videos on how that works with depreciation that you don't get in the stock market. Just by having that over here, 8% of this is going to give you $4,000 of passive income a year. This isn't like a get rich quick thing. You buy some Bitcoin, it goes from $20,000 to $100,000. This is something that if you're consistent with and you're consistently investing on a yearly basis, you're going to keep adding these passive income streams. And then one day you're going to look up 10 years from now and you may have 6 figures of passive income coming in. That is going to what really typically is going to bring you freedom. Again, the employee, self-employed quadrant, you feel safe. But really, this is the riskiest places to be in. I got injured. I hurt my wrist when I was 40. That was my wake-up call because at that time I was self-employed. And if I can't use my hands, I wasn't able to provide for my family. That started the whole snowball of me going and educating myself on what wealthy people do. Wealthy people ain't over here. Wealthy people are over here. They don't do anything. They're not a dentist. They're not a doctor. They're not, what do you do for a living? I'm a dentist. I'm a doctor. I'm an attorney. I'm a nurse anesthetist. I'm an accountant. They don't do anything. They own things. They own businesses. They own assets. They own real estate. If you don't believe me, I want you to go the next time you're talking to a very wealthy person. I'm not talking about an orthopedic surgeon that's making $1 million a year. I'm talking about a person that has wealth, a lot of wealth. I want you to ask them, what do you do for a living? I guarantee you the first two words out of their mouth is going to be, I own. Okay? Wealthy people over here, they're going to say, I own ... When you ask somebody over here, what do you do for a living? They're going to say this, I am a ... doctor, dentist, whatever. They do, they don't. They do, they own. Again, if you lose your job over here, you get injured, that's it, your income stops. The business owner, investor quadrant, it does it because it doesn't depend on your time. So I really hope you started to think about this, how you're making money. Let me ask you a question. Which quadrant are you in? Right now, which quadrant are you in? More than likely, you're probably here or here. Which quadrant do you want to be in? Okay. And I really hope that this really not only helps you start thinking about how you're making money, but also for your kids, especially if they're teenagers. Show them this video, because this is all they're going to learn. This is it. They go to school, they go to college, high school, this is it. They're teaching them to be trapped their entire life. I've talked a lot about over here, passive income, syndications. And if you don't have a clue what that is, or maybe you know a little bit what that is has actually helped me build wealth and provide me options, guess what? I have several videos on this. And if you check out this video, you will learn as much as you need to go to get started. Check it out.